Hello again, I am back from my self-proclaimed maternity leave basically. Lennon is 10 months now, so we're getting back into the swing of life now that we are in fall, almost fall technically. It is September, we're going back into homeschool for grade 1. So I thought I would take this time to say what we are using for our homeschool curriculum for grade 1, and I'll kind of talk a little bit about what we did for kindergarten as well, because I did do a little bit of a switch up for curriculum this year. So let's get into it. So for kindergarten for Rylan, we had used Learning Without Tears for writing, and then we had used All About Reading for phonics, and then I had also went on to Teachers Pay Teachers and Pinterest just to print out a bunch of like coloring worksheets, just fun things to do like that. And we were enjoying it. Rylan was learning her letters and all that sort of stuff, but I found it wasn't structured enough for me. I wanted more of like an open and closed type curriculum where you could just get to it, close it up for the day, and then you know exactly where to start off the next day. So we did switch it up to using the Good and the Beautiful, language arts, math, and some other science, and we really enjoyed it. So we are using that again for this year. Now that she's in grade 1, we did add a couple other subjects to it, not just the basics like language arts, writing, and math. We did add some extra things. So the Good and the Beautiful, I will say it is a religious, faith-based curriculum. However, if that's not your sort of thing, it's okay. You can totally skip past the parts where you feel like, this isn't really us. It's totally doable. It's not very heavy faith-based, at least where we're at with the kindergarten and grade 1 material. I haven't found it too faith heavy. So if that's what's holding you back, I wouldn't worry too much about that. So homeschooling, if this is something new you're looking into, it's not recreating school at home. You don't have to sit at a desk for 6 to 8 hours, whatever it may be, to teach your child. That's totally not it. When you're doing it at home, it's so much faster because they're getting that one-on-one attention, and you only have to do so much in a day that, especially in the younger grades, like you might only be spending like 30 to 45 minutes for kindergarten, and then as they get older, that'll increase. So an older child might be spending more like 3 hours, whereas for us, my estimate will be about 1 to 2 hours, depending how interested she is that day. That is the benefit of homeschooling. You kind of follow their lead. So like when we start doing math, my goal is 1 lesson. However, if she's just enjoying it, I'll ask if she wants to continue, and we will. But the goal is at least 1 lesson per day with some room. So like if we have somewhere to be on a weekday, which we tend to do sometimes, we can do some schoolwork on the weekend or make up for it the next week. Like it's totally up to your schedule. You know, when you think about public school, how many Pro D days there are, how many sick days there are, the fun days where they're not learning anything. Like you can do that in your homeschooling as well. Like don't feel guilty if you're taking a few days, or if your child's just having a rough time, like you can take those breaks. It's totally okay. So I'm gonna get straight into the curriculum. So for language arts, the 3 subjects that are non-negotiable for me that we have to do are language arts, math, and writing. I feel like those are your key skills, and then anything on top of that is just a bonus. So the Good and the Beautiful, language arts, we did use this for kindergarten. I found it, the illustrations are very cute, lots of interactive things, crafts, cutting, pasting, beautiful illustrations, stories. This also goes with a free app. The Good and the Beautiful has a really great free app that has tons of resources, videos to go along with curriculum, games, especially with phonics. And it also has like active games, kind of like gives them a little break between subjects maybe, where you kind of just want to get them on their feet, get out some energy. So really great. I do find some of it can be repetitive. If your child is struggling with a certain concept, then the repetitiveness is okay, obviously. They need the extra practice, but if they're getting something right away, then just move on to the next lesson. It's not necessary. So in the language arts lessons, it does ask you to work on something called the reading booster cards for at least 10 minutes before the other lesson. And what these are is the main phonics. It'll be a simple lesson where they will repeat certain words, certain sentences, and then there will be a little storybook to read after, and then they get to choose a sticker at the end of the page. These are the cute little books. I found Rylan just excelled at reading by using just these booster cards alone. You can get this stuff online, PDF versions, and print it at home. Some of them are free, which is really great, but I did find when I went to look into printing the material, it was going to cost a ton of money. So for me, it was just easier to get the hard copy sent, especially with the little books and things. Because this was like our main phonics, I love that we have the actual books and not just printed PDFs. That's just me though. There are also some sight words for irregular words that don't follow phonics. And like I said, there's super cute illustrations, cute little stickers at the end of the book where Rylan loved picking them out to put on the lesson of the day, and she just really enjoyed it. So I'm looking forward to this. Like I said, it's super simple to just grab, say, you know, you're going out of town and you want to continue your schoolwork, you just grab it, open it to where you left off, and you're good to go. So for writing, we have the Good and the Beautiful writing book. I also ordered some journals off Amazon where you can draw a picture on the top and then write a sentence below. So that's also just sentence structure, reading comprehension, and just drawing creativity. So we will be doing that on top of this, where there's coloring, there's tracing, just practicing letters, numbers. It's good just to keep them on top of that. So for math, we actually didn't finish our kinder math, so I will be finishing off some concepts from the kinder math textbook, like how to read a clock, just because the grade 1 kinder math starts off with already knowing that, so I didn't want to just like throw that at her. So this is the math manipulatives that come with the Good and the Beautiful math. I haven't opened them yet, but there's just really cute manipulatives to go with the textbook. And there's a really cute clock that she will be practicing telling time with. Same with the language arts. The math textbook has super cute illustrations, really engaging content, especially for a child. It's not just, you know, black and white. So it's little worksheets like this, time. There's also little interactive games on the inside. There is cutting and pasting and shapes and all that sort of stuff. And like I said, this can also be pretty repetitive. So if your child has mastered something, feel free to move ahead. But if they're not quite getting it, then you know that you're gonna have lots of practice moving forwards. Sometimes they'll introduce a new topic and then they'll go back to reviewing some of the previous ones just to make sure they haven't forgotten anything. So again, we'll be using the kinder math, my children. We'll be using the kinder math first just to finish off a couple things, and then I'm gonna move on to the math one. So as a bonus for grade 1, I'm going to be introducing maps to Rylan, like super simple math. So just continents of the world and Canada where we live, like the provinces. So I do have some wooden puzzles that we're going to do, like just kind of more interactive to learn different provinces and continents. And then on top of that, I also found a curriculum called the Great Canadian Adventure. What it is, it's called the Tiny Travelers curriculum. So it's for younger children, Rylan's age. And they're these little booklets that go through each of the provinces. It's laid out by weeks, so you move through it. I think what we'll do is probably about a lesson a week. So maybe like Fridays, or if she's feeling it on another day, we can do that. I follow her lead. One a week. And then, so it'd be like, what, one province a month. And if she's really enjoying it, we might even do 2 a week. We'll see how it goes. But so there's stories about different provinces. There's crafts that come with it already with the materials, thankfully. And I just thought this was a really fun way to learn about the provinces that isn't just, you know, studying a map and memorizing it. It's a little bit more engaging, and it's also part of her social studies. So learning about different communities, different people. I thought this was a really cute curriculum. So we have all of these. This is just British Columbia because that's where we live. And then I just have the rest in a box put away, and then we'll pull them out as we go. For science, we used the Good and the Beautiful last year, and I thought it was so cute. It also, so the lessons, it'll be one lesson, and at the end you either read a story about the lesson or you watch a video through their free app. And I love that. It was nice to kind of mix it up every once in a while. So this one is the Wind and Waves for little hearts and hands. But it is, you'll open a lesson and then it'll have what you're supposed to say, what questions you're supposed to ask, and then it'll show you optional activities and crafts based on the lessons. This one is about clouds. So this is a storybook that goes along with it. Really great way to learn. I Reading is a huge part of our family. We read stories every single night, in the afternoon, in the morning. That's just what we do. So it's nice that this is educational stories. It's just an easier way to remember, at least for me, I know it is. And even I enjoy learning about the different topics through these. So it's fun for everyone. And it's also engaging for my younger one, Harlow, so she can also learn through this as well. On top of the non-negotiable subjects like language arts, writing, and math, as part of the extra stuff that we'll be doing is creative arts, so crafts. I am not a crafty person, so The Good and the Beautiful has this book, probably a PDF version as well. However, I do prefer the hard copy. It tells you exactly what you need, the supplies, all that sort of stuff. It's just super easy for me to be like, okay, let's do this one today, and we can go through it. We can go through it in the earlier part of the week and decide which one she's interested in doing.
That's me.
And then we can do that for her school art. So there's different things. Some of it's painting, some of it's more hands-on stuff. And then we also, we just have art stuff here too, like painting. I'll print out themed stuff through Teachers Pay Teachers and Pinterest for like holidays, all that sort of stuff. So looking forward to having more crafts in our homeschool schedule. So on top of all of that stuff, I also ordered some games from The Good and the Beautiful just to be a little bit more engaging. So like this one, for example, is Parts of Speech for her age, and it comes with these books. So it's interactive and involves her love of reading. So I thought that was really fun. And I also ordered these from The Good and the Beautiful. They're just some math games, flashcards. This one is addition, the other one is subtraction. So again, just fun little interactive ways of engaging the material so that you just remember and learn it better. So on top of all this, we're also gonna do some baking, just real life skills. Like I said, we're only doing this for about maybe 1 to 2 hours a day. And then the rest of the day we have just for life, and that involves doing all the things that she's interested in. So going to be in dance 3 times a week, skating, swimming. I don't believe in over scheduling your kids with activities. It's just too much. They need to just relax and be a kid and live in the moment. However, when they're being homeschooled, they're not in school all day, so the extra activities isn't overwhelming. So we do have them in all of those as well. And I just think it'll be really nice for the long winters and just getting out of the house apart from doing school. So that is it. Thank you, Harlow. She's moving the camera. That is it. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope to film some homeschool material as we go throughout our year, and I will give a review on all this material at the end of it. So thanks so much for watching. Say bye, Harlow.
Wait, Mommy, I want to do something.
Okay.